Wow, what an amazing second round of the playoffs. Just came to an end last night, and now the Final Four is all set. Good afternoon. Hardcore Puckhead is here with this review of this year's Division Finals. And while there were no Game 7s in the first round, there were two played last night. One here and one in DC. And, excuse me. And it was just an absolutely amazing day in this in the do or die Game 7 Wednesday last night. Sorry, sorry, forgive me for a sec. Just doing my impression of Alex Ovechkin in the playoffs and staying true to form. Ovechkin and the Capitals completely choked, losing Game 7 in DC to the Penguins. Matter of fact, one of the two goals that the Penguins scored was caused by Ovechkin. He turned over the puck, and that allowed the Penguins' second goal in the game. The goals were scored in the second and third by Rust and Hornqvist, and Marc-Andre Fleury was a brick wall at net. And as the Penguins returned to the East Final, Ovechkin, let's face it, Ovechkin is never going to win a cup. How Ovechkin is never going to play for the cup. How Ovechkin is never going to play for the Prince of Wales trophy. He's been in the league 12. He and Crosby came together, but in 12 years, Ovechkin still has zero conference final appearances. This would be Crosby's fifth in his career. He reached the East Final in 2008, 2009, 2013 last year, and now he's back in it this year. So, so who the Penguins face off? None other than the Ottawa Senators. How about those Senators? Senators are kicking ass. That's an understatement. They survived. They beat up Boston in the opening round, and then in the Atlantic Final they took out the Rangers in 6 games, with the Game 6 victory coming in New York, taking place in New York this past Tuesday. And the Senators seem to be a team on a mission here. A lot of people didn't have them get this far, but they got this far. They're the first Canadian team to reach the Final Four since the Canadiens did so 3 years ago. Of course, the Canadiens were beaten by the New York Rangers in the East Final that year. Um, on the West side, the Pacific Final, the seventh game, and the Ducks won it at home. How do you like that? The Anaheim Ducks actually won Game 7 here. Something they hadn't done in 4 years in a row. And they beat the Oilers despite the fact the Oilers scored first. Defying the statistics that the team that scored first in Game 7 won about 3 out of every 4 times. Unfortunately, Edmonton was in that bottom fourth. So Edmonton scored first early in the first period, but not anymore. The Ducks tied up in the second, and an early goal in the third by Nick Ritchie proved to be the difference. So the Ducks are in the West Final for the second time in 3 years, and their opponents, the Nashville Predators. Oh my goodness, what are they trying to prove here? I mean, it's bad enough that they made mincemeat out of the Blackhawks, but they beat up the Blues. They decimated the Blues. It was 6 games, yes, but the Blues didn't do anything. They had a terrible series, and Nashville's in the West Final for the first time ever in their 19-year franchise history. 19 years, and that's a lot to think about. That's a lot to think about. Think about it. The Predators didn't exist yet the last time a team repeated as Stanley Cup champions. They were a season away from existing. The 97-98 season, that was the season before the Predators were established. The first of the 4 expansion teams that entered the league between 98 and 2000. A few more fun facts. The Predators are actually the second of those 4 to finally reach the conference final. The first was the Minnesota Wild, who did so in 2003, only their third season in existence. The Thrashers / Jets 2.0 haven't done so. and the Blue Jackets haven't done so yet, but they'll have their chances. Um, there's another fun fact. Had the Oilers won Game 7, it would have been the first time since 1993 that each conference final had a Canadian team. Of course, 1993 was the final year of the Wales and Campbell era, and the Wales final had the Canadiens and the Islanders. The Canadiens won that series. The Campbell final had the Leafs and the Kings. The Kings won that series. Of course, Montreal won the Cup. Canada's last to this day. Um, and of course, Edmonton being ousted means it will be another year. Another year has passed without an All Canadian final. It's still been 28 years and counting. Um, so yeah, that's the Final Four. The Final Four, a few more facts. The Final Four has a combined 5 Stanley Cups, but Pittsburgh has 4 of them. Only the Ducks have that other one. And Nashville and Ottawa are still looking for their first. Though Ottawa has been to the final once before, 10 years ago. Nashville never. And the Ducks have been to the final twice. Of course, in 2007 when they won was their last time. And of course, the Penguins are the defending uh, Stanley Cup champions, looking to repeat, the first repeat team in 19 years. So this this Final Four should be pretty good. And it all starts tomorrow out here in the OC with Game 1 of the West Final between the Predators and the Ducks. Now, the Ducks are going to be looking for payback because last year's home Game 7 loss came against Nashville. The Predators, uh, in the Pacific semifinal, the Predators with a crossover. The Predators ousted the Ducks in 7 games and moved within 1 win of reaching the West Final. Now they're in the West Final this year playing the Ducks, so it should be a pretty good series. Um, the Penguins, because the Penguins and Senators, that should definitely be interesting. That's going to be a close series. But I posted my predictions on Twitter at Clyde E Dawkins. That's my Twitter handle. I posted my predictions on Twitter, and my predictions were Ducks. My predictions were Ducks in 6 and Penguins in 7. Though it really would not surprise me if Ottawa took them out. They're on a roll, but that's gonna be a very very close series. I think it is gonna go 7. I have this sicky feeling Game 7 is either gonna be one of those one goal down the wire games, or it's going to overtime. Ooh, conference final Game 7 overtime. Ooh, that's nail biter. So anyway, with that, that's my review of the division finals. The division playoffs are done. It's all about the Final Four, the conference finals, the final official round of the playoffs. Because you know how it goes. There's the playoffs, then there's the championship. Though it's all lumped together, the championship stands on its own. So it's the last leg before the final. So you know it's going to be bumpy, and it's an every other day schedule, nonstop. Um, the West is first tomorrow. Then Game 1 of the East Final is Saturday in Pittsburgh, and then Sunday West, Monday East, so on, so on, so on until it ends, whenever it is. Um, so enjoy these next 2 weeks or so responsibly. Don't go too crazy, and I'll be back with a review of how my review of the conference finals in about, I would say, a week and a half, 2 weeks time. So with that, I say good day to every hockey fan out there.